On Saturday night, Lola was shot several times about her body while in her car outside her Texas Square, East Rumpel, Georgetown house. Police said Lola was sitting in her car when she was attacked by a man on a motorcycle. She suffered gunshot wounds to her neck, face, hands, and right leg. Lola was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where her condition is listed as stable.
This white car sat quietly outside a home in Georgetown, Guyana. Inside, 33-year-old Lola Dahl scrolls through her phone. She never knew that someone was watching her every move. The clock showed 11:30 p.m. on September 6, 2024. A motorcycle appears on the security camera. The rider stops, gets off, and walks toward her car. What happened in the next 30 seconds destroyed a family and shocked everyone who knew her. Gunshots rang out. Multiple shots fired directly into the driver's side window, blood everywhere. Her brother ran outside, screaming. The gunman was already gone. But here's what makes this case terrifying. Lola Dahl saw this coming. She went live on Facebook just days before, telling her followers someone wanted her dead. She named names, she begged for help. Nobody listened.
Cause y'all must contest wait till they upon life, then y'all ring. I tell me in the life nobody calling me. Me want nobody tell me stop. Cause when people want kill me, when you put their money for me air and you want kill me fans them gonna know it's a public figure. Cause they're not gonna come and play y'all doing nothing. Y'all not come play y'all doing nothing to me. And they go unsolved.
Now as she clings to life in a hospital bed, police have released a wanted poster. The suspect's identity will shock you. His connections run deeper than anyone imagined. Meanwhile, some of her critics have been busy making posts that show they are happy about what happened. One even wished she dies from the shooting. The question everyone's asking: what happens when your digital fame makes you a real-world target? Before we continue with Lola Dahl's story, I want to hear from you. What state or country are you watching from? Because we need to take safety seriously. You never know who's watching you. Welcome to our channel. Right now, there are thousands of influencers like Lola Dahl posting content online, completely unaware that someone is planning to hurt them. If you want to help spread awareness about online threats and the warning signs that could save lives, then please like this video, share it, and subscribe to this channel. Your action now could help protect another content creator who might be in danger.
Oh, sorry for my with the knees bend. Instead of pleasing me, just please them. Listen, girl, we on the same page.
Her real name was Lolita Calendar, but the world knew her as Lola Dahl. At 33 years old, she had become one of Guyana's biggest social media stars, with over 53,000 Instagram followers and a massive 90,000 people following her on Facebook. But Lola Dahl wasn't your typical influencer posting makeup tutorials or dance videos. She was raw, real, and completely unfiltered. She talked about things other people whispered about behind closed doors. She wore what she wanted, said what she thought, and lived her life exactly how she chose. Her Instagram was filled with bold photos from parties where she wore revealing outfits that made headlines. Her Facebook Live sessions drew thousands of viewers who came to hear her speak her mind about relationships, money, and life in Guyana. She didn't hold back, and people loved her for it. Lola Dahl was also chasing her dream as a music artist. She used her social media platforms to promote her songs and connect with fans who supported her musical journey. With over 143,000 combined followers on both Facebook and Instagram, she had built something powerful, a voice that reached across the Caribbean and beyond. But fame in a small country like Guyana comes with a price. When you have that many eyes on you, not all of them are friendly. Lola Dahl's bold personality and provocative content made her a target for criticism and hate. Some people loved her confidence. Others despised everything she represented. In Guyana, where traditional values still run deep, a woman like Lola Dahl stood out like a neon sign. She challenged what people expected women to be. She refused to stay quiet or blend into the background. This made her powerful, but it also made her dangerous to those who wanted women to stay in their place. Her brother later described her as a fighter, someone who never backed down from a challenge. She had grown up in East Ruinveld, a community in Georgetown where life wasn't always easy, but instead of letting her circumstances define her, she used social media to build something bigger than herself. The money started flowing in from sponsorships and partnerships. Brands wanted to work with her because she could reach so many people. Her music was gaining attention. She was living proof that you could come from anywhere and make it big if you were willing to put yourself out there. But putting yourself out there also means putting a target on your back. Lola Doll's success came at a time when social media was exploding in the Caribbean. Young people were using platforms like Instagram and Facebook to build careers that didn't exist 10 years ago. She was part of a new generation that understood how to turn followers into income and influence into opportunity. Her content wasn't for everyone, and she knew it. She posted what she wanted when she wanted without asking permission from anyone. This authenticity is what drew people to her, but it's also what made certain people hate her. Friends and family knew her as someone who was always there for the people she loved. She was generous with her success and never forgot where she came from. But to her critics, she represented everything they thought was wrong with modern society. What none of them realized was that behind the bold posts and confident videos, Lola Doll was receiving threats. People weren't just criticizing her online anymore. They were promising to hurt her in real life. The woman who had built her career on being fearless was about to discover that some people would do anything to silence a voice they couldn't control. Success brought Lola Doll money, fame, and thousands of fans. But it also brought something much darker. People who wanted to destroy her. The hate comments started small. Random strangers calling her names under her photos, people saying she was a bad influence on young girls, critics claiming she was ruining Guyana's reputation with her bold content. But then the comments got worse, much worse. People weren't just criticizing her anymore, they were threatening her life. Messages poured in telling her she deserved to die. Strangers promised they would hurt her if they ever saw her in person. The threats became so frequent that Lola Doll couldn't ignore them anymore. She did what many influencers do when they're scared. She went live on Facebook to tell her followers what was happening. In those videos, she looked directly into the camera and said someone wanted her dead. She wasn't joking around or trying to get attention. She was genuinely afraid. But here's the tragic part. Most people didn't take her seriously. They thought she was being dramatic for views. They assumed it was just another influencer creating controversy to stay relevant. The threats kept coming. People hiding behind fake profiles sent her messages describing exactly how they would kill her. They knew where she lived. They knew her daily routine. They were watching her every move. What made it even more terrifying was that some of these threats came from people in her own community. This wasn't just random internet trolls from other countries. These were people who could actually find her. The worst part about online fame for women like Lola Doll is that success makes you a target for men who can't stand seeing a woman win. Her confidence threatened people who believed women should stay quiet and invisible. Her financial success made men angry who thought they deserved her opportunities more than she did. Every photo she posted brought new waves of hate. Every time she went live, more people promised to hurt her. The bigger her following grew, the more dangerous her life became. But Lola Doll refused to stop posting. She wouldn't let fear control her life or her career. She kept creating content, kept building her brand, and kept speaking her mind. This courage would ultimately put her in even more danger. Then came the night that changed everything. September 6, 2024 started like any other Saturday for Lola Doll. She posted content, interacted with fans, and went about her normal routine. She had no idea that someone was watching her every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. By 11:30 p.m., most of Georgetown was settling in for the night. Lola Doll was sitting in her white car, parked right outside her family home in East Ruinveld. She was probably scrolling through her phone, checking messages from her thousands of followers, completely unaware that death was riding toward her on a motorcycle. The security camera that would capture everything was just doing its job, recording another quiet night in the neighborhood. But what it caught would become crucial evidence in an attempted murder case. At exactly 11:30 p.m., a motorcycle appears on the screen. The rider moves slowly, deliberately. This isn't someone passing through the neighborhood. This is someone with a mission. The motorcycle stops near Lola Dahl's white car. The rider gets off, and here's where you can see this wasn't a random crime. The man doesn't rush. He doesn't panic. He moves like someone who has planned this moment down to the last detail. He walks back toward her car with purpose. Lola Dahl is still sitting in the driver's seat, probably unaware of what's about to happen. The man positions himself at the driver's side window. Then the shooting starts. Multiple gunshots ring out in the quiet neighborhood. The man fires again and again through the driver's side window. He's not shooting randomly. He's aiming to kill. The bullets hit Lola Dahl in her face, neck, hands, and right leg. After emptying his weapon into the car, the shooter calmly walks back to his motorcycle. No running, no panic. He gets on his bike and rides away like he just finished a normal errand. The entire attack took less than a minute, but in those few seconds, a rising star was left to battle to survive. Inside the house, Lola Dahl's brother heard the gunshots. At first, he probably thought it was firecrackers or maybe a car backfiring, but something told him to check outside. What he found will haunt him forever. His sister was slumped over in her car, blood pouring from multiple gunshot wounds. The woman who had been full of life just minutes earlier was now fighting for every breath. Her brother later told reporters exactly what he saw that night. "I was inside at home when I hear gunshots and run out to see was what, only to see me sister lying in she car and blood. If you see blood pouring out, can you imagine that moment? Running outside and finding your sister covered in blood, barely alive? The panic, the terror, the desperate need to save her life. We rushed her here," he continued, talking about getting her to Georgetown Public Hospital. "I can't tell you where all she was shot, but she was shot in like her face, her side, I don't know where else. Blood, so much blood everywhere. She lost a lot of blood, but she is a fighter." The brother's focus was entirely on saving Lola Dahl's life. He didn't have time to look for the shooter or try to identify the motorcycle. Every second counted, and he knew his sister was dying. Other family members and friends rushed to the hospital that night. They gathered in the waiting room, praying that the woman they loved would survive. The doctors listed her condition as critical. What would you do in this situation? You're sitting in your car outside your own home, probably feeling safe because you're so close to your family. Then suddenly someone appears with a gun. There's no time to run, no time to call for help, no time to do anything except hope you survive. That's exactly what happened to Lola Dahl. One moment she was scrolling through her phone, the next moment she was fighting for her life. What happened after the shooting shows just how deep the hatred ran. While Lola Dahl was fighting for her life in the hospital, a woman named Jennifer Alley took to Facebook to celebrate. Jennifer posted, "Well, it went downstairs," with 6 laughing emojis, as if someone getting shot multiple times was funny to her. But she wasn't done. An hour later, she posted something even more disgusting. "I hope it dies." Think about that for a moment. While a 33-year-old woman was bleeding in a hospital bed, clinging to life after being shot in the face and neck, someone was publicly hoping she would die. This wasn't just one sick person either. Other people liked Jennifer's posts. They shared her celebration of violence. They agreed that Lola Dahl deserved to be shot. This is what happens when online hate turns into real-world violence. It starts with mean comments, grows into death threats, and ends with someone actually trying to kill you. And even then, people celebrate your pain. The fact that Jennifer Alley felt comfortable posting those comments publicly shows how normalized violence against women has become. She wasn't afraid of consequences. She wasn't worried about being judged. She genuinely believed that Lola Dahl deserved to be shot. This is the reality for women who dare to be visible online. Your success becomes their anger. Your confidence becomes their target. Your voice becomes their enemy. This security footage shows us the cold, calculated nature of this attack. This was an execution attempt, plain and simple. Someone wanted Lola Dahl dead, and they were willing to ride up to her house and shoot her in front of security cameras to make it happen. The question everyone was asking: who hated her enough to risk everything just to silence her voice forever? The answer is indeed shocking. Within minutes of the shooting, police were racing to East Ruimfeld, while Lola Dahl was being rushed to Georgetown Public Hospital. The Guyana police force knew this wasn't just another street crime. When a social media star with over 140,000 followers gets shot outside her own home, the entire country pays attention. Officers cordoned off the area and began collecting evidence. Shell casings scattered on the ground, bloodstains in the white car. But the most important piece of evidence was already waiting: the security camera footage. Detectives spent hours reviewing the video frame by frame. The footage was crystal clear: the motorcycle approaching, the shooter getting off, the deliberate walk to the car, the shooting, and the calm escape. They could make out details about the shooter's clothing and build. Tips started pouring in from the community: people who had seen the motorcycle earlier that evening, witnesses who remembered seeing a suspicious person in the area. The investigation was moving fast. Then something shocking happened. Less than 24 hours after the shooting, investigators had identified their prime suspect, Paul DeBee Jr. This wasn't just any random criminal. Paul DeBee Jr. was a businessman previously sanctioned by the United States government for drug trafficking. Someone with serious criminal connections had just tried to kill a social media influencer. On Sunday, September 7th, just one day after the shooting, police released an official wanted poster. Paul DeBee Jr.'s photo was plastered across social media and news outlets throughout Guyana. The charge: attempted murder. The wanted poster sent shockwaves through the country. People couldn't believe someone with DeBee's background would risk everything to shoot Lola Dahl. What was his motive? Did he know her personally? Was this connected to his criminal enterprises? Police weren't releasing those details yet. They simply urged anyone with information about DeBee's whereabouts to come forward immediately. The manhunt was now in full swing. Meanwhile, at Georgetown Public Hospital, Lola Dahl was fighting for her life. The bullets had caused massive damage to her face, neck, hands, and leg. Doctors worked around the clock to keep her alive. Her family gathered in the hospital waiting room. Her brother, who had found her bleeding in the car, barely left her bedside. He looked exhausted but refused to give up hope. "She's a fighter," he kept telling reporters. "She's going to make it through this." Word spread quickly that Lola Dahl was in critical condition. Fans and friends began gathering outside the hospital with flowers, candles, and handmade signs. Her social media followers organized prayer circles and shared messages of hope. "Pray for Lola Dahl" started trending across the Caribbean. But the vigil revealed how divided public opinion was. While hundreds showed support, others stayed away. Some people still believed she had brought this violence on herself with her provocative content. Family members took turns speaking to reporters, thanking the community for support and begging anyone with information to contact police. The investigation continued around the clock. Police analyzed phone records, checked financial transactions, and interviewed anyone who might know about Paul DeBee Jr.'s movements on September 6th. They were also investigating whether this was a targeted hit or if DeBee acted alone. Someone with his criminal background might have connections to organized crime groups who could have ordered the attack. The fact that DeBee was willing to shoot someone in front of security cameras suggested either desperation or confidence that he could escape justice. As the manhunt intensified, one question kept coming up. Where was Paul DeBee Jr. hiding, and would police catch him before he could flee the country? The entire nation was watching and waiting for answers while Lola Dahl continued fighting for her life in the hospital bed above them. Lola Dahl's shooting isn't an isolated incident. Around the world, women influencers face increasing violence simply for being visible online. In Guyana, this violence reflects deeper societal issues. Traditional values clash with modern women who refuse to stay quiet. When a woman like Lola Doll earns money, speaks her mind, and lives freely, it threatens men who believe women should be controlled. This case matters beyond Guyana because it shows how quickly online hate becomes offline violence. Social media platforms connect us globally, but they also allow hatred to spread faster than ever before. Every time we ignore threats against women online, we're telling attackers their behavior is acceptable. Every time we blame victims for their provocative content, we're giving criminals permission to act. Lola Doll's shooting should be a wake-up call for every country dealing with violence against women influencers. The internet has created new opportunities for women, but it's also created new ways for men to hurt them. Lola Doll's shooting could have been prevented if people had taken her warnings seriously. She went live on Facebook telling followers someone wanted her dead. Instead of dismissing her concerns, the community should have acted. Social media platforms bear responsibility too. When users like Jennifer Ally celebrate violence with posts like, "I hope it dies," they should face immediate account suspension. Platforms must develop better systems for detecting and removing threats before they escalate. The next time you see someone threatening a female influencer online, don't scroll past. Report it. Share it with authorities. Speak up, because somewhere right now, another woman is receiving death threats for the crime of being successful online. And if we don't act, she might be the next Lola Doll fighting for her life in a hospital bed. Your action today could save tomorrow's victim. As we speak, Lola Doll remains in critical condition at Georgetown Public Hospital. The bullets that tore through her face, neck, hands, and leg have left her fighting the biggest battle of her life. But true to what her brother said, she's proving to be a fighter. Doctors are working around the clock to save her. Each day she survives is another victory against the person who tried to silence her forever. Her family hasn't left her side, holding on to hope that the woman who built an empire with her voice will speak again. The investigation into Paul Davey Jr. continues. Police are following leads, checking surveillance footage from across Georgetown and pursuing tips from the public. But as of today, he remains at large, a wanted man whose face is known throughout Guyana. The manhunt has expanded beyond Guyana's borders. Authorities are working with international partners to ensure Dabi can't escape justice by fleeing the country. His previous connections to drug trafficking make him a flight risk, but police are determined to bring him in. What's your take on influencer safety? Should platforms do more to protect content creators who receive threats? Should police have specialized units for online harassment cases? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters in this conversation. This case has sparked nationwide discussions about violence against women, online safety, and the price of fame in the digital age. Lola Doll's shooting has become a symbol of everything wrong with how society treats successful women. But her story isn't over. Every day she fights in that hospital bed, she's proving that bullets can't kill determination. Every prayer from her 143,000 followers shows that love is stronger than hate. Every person demanding justice proves that her voice created something bigger than herself. Lola Doll built her career on refusing to be silenced. Now, as she fights for her life, her community is refusing to let her story be forgotten. The woman who spoke truth to power has inspired others to speak truth about the violence women face. If this story moved you, if it made you think differently about online threats, if it showed you the real cost of digital fame, then share it. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, because awareness is the first step toward change. Lola Doll's legacy isn't just her social media success. It's the conversation her shooting has started about protecting women who dare to be visible in a world that wants them invisible.